Hey guys, and welcome back to the 5th episode of this Bradford Road to Glory, where we try to aim to win the FA Cup with Bradford City while only making signings based on data and also not buying anyone who is older than 24 years. At the beginning of the season we got a pretty big transfer budget. However, we got an even bigger wage budget, so I switched some money around. I put some of the wage budget into the transfer budget, and that means that we have a lot more to spend, and spending is what we're going to do in this season. I already made some signings. I will switch in a second to the data sheet to show you how I've made these signings and based on what I've made these signings. So without any further ado, let's jump straight into the data sheet. To start off with, we have brought in a new keeper, John McCracken. He's our newest addition and he's probably going to play. Just because he's 24 years old, could still improve and is already better than Sam Walker. So Sam Walker is going to be our backup goalkeeper, and Luca Ashby Hammond, who we brought in last season, is going to be loaned out most likely because we currently don't really have a place for him in the squad. The next thing I did was look for a new wingback, and I found it in the role of Harry Boyce, who we brought in. He's 11.3, which is a lot better than Vokins, who is going to be our starting wingback, and also a lot better than Amos right here. And also Gillihat is moving to the wingback position in the reserves. Right here, Amos is also new, so he's actually better than the wingbacks we had before. I still brought him in as a backup. He was cheap. We didn't have to pay anything for him, so that was very nice. Then let's move on to the ball playing defenders that I brought in. Hey, 93.5% of you are not subscribed to my channel yet. Please do consider subscribing, as it really helps me out a ton and it keeps me motivated to make more awesome content. With that out of the way, let's move on to the video. For the ball playing defenders, I've brought in Deji Elewere, or however you pronounce it, an 11.9, so a lot better than the ball playing defenders we currently have. As you can see, Matthew Platt and Dawson right here are 11.4s, and only Sam Sharing is coming in pretty close with an 11.8. So very happy with this signing as well. This does mean that Sam Stubbs and Kieran Kelly are moving to the bench together with Ash Taylor. I am, however, still going to see if I can get more good players in, and I'm currently in talks with a player to bring him into the squad. I just wanted to let you guys see how I make these signings. So for example, right here I saw that JG Elewere was an 11.9, so a lot better than the current ball playing defenders that we have. I saw that he was kind of affordable. I also tried Ben Goodliff, but he just signed a new contract, so that's why we didn't sign him. Jordan Brown is a lot more expensive than it shows right here. Currently that range is just way too high for a player of that caliber. Lastly, let's take a look at the inside forward that I've brought in, Colin Whelan. He's going to be our new starting inside forward, and he's a lot better than what we had before in Tyler Smith, because Tyler Smith is an 11.0 and Colin Whelan is an 11.5. So he's going into the team straight away. Also not very expensive, 55k to 550k, so doesn't look too bad. Those are all the players that I've brought in. Of course, I'm not going to be doing this every player that we bring in, but this is the way that I calculate if a player is good enough to go into the team or not. As you can see right here, Sam Mather was a very good player to bring in and very cheap, but unfortunately our reputation as a club wasn't high enough for him to really want to join us. So fortunately we couldn't really get him in, but of course, as you can see, this guy would have been absolutely insane if we could have brought him in. Anyway, that's all the signings I've made so far. Let's jump back to Football Manager, and this is what it looks like in Football Manager. As you can see, John McCracken, the goalkeeper, very good backup to have. Danny Utmost, the backup wingback we have, also not a bad player. Harry Boyce, an insane player for this level, on a very expensive contract, I'll tell you, 4.9k a week, so I really trust this guy to make it. Then also JG Elewere, however you pronounce it, brought him for 350k. Really need this guy to perform, but look at these stats. Physically a beast for this level. Also technically does have the stats to actually really work his way through the ranks with us to hopefully the championship, and in the end maybe also possibly the Premier League. Also on the other side, a couple of players left, Andy Cook finally managed to get this guy out. He was earning 5k a week and we barely played him, but we sold him to Wigan for 93k, which isn't too bad. I'm happy that he's left. Then also Adam Wilson left on a free. He also was on a very cheap contract, but I just never used him, so might as well just gotten rid of him. Anyway, this is not going to be all. Of course, like I showed you, there's still a lot of transfer budget left. I'm going to try to spend all of that, and if I do have a lot of money left over, I might just spend it on one player. But first, let's try to upgrade the team gradually so we can start with a very good team in League 1 and not just have a lot of differences. Anyway, that's not all. We still have 750k left in the transfer budget, and I'm going to try to not spend it on just one player, but I hope to spend it on a couple of players who can gradually make our team a little better. Anyway, I'll be back at the end of the transfer window with the rest of the signings that I've made to go into our first ever season in League 1. It is the 4th of September and the transfer window has officially ended in the second season with Bradford City. As you can see, we made some signings. In the end, we could not make more signings, but I will explain that in a little bit. Let's run through the players that we've brought in. Sam Mather paying 9k in his whole loan, and he's absolutely insane. Not sure how many times he's going to play, but whenever we need someone to fill in, Sam Mather is going to be our super sub. Only 9k a year we're paying for him. Then Friendly Thorndike, not very good, just brought him in as a backup because we needed a backup inside forward. JJ Kiernan, paid the big bucks for this guy, 84k, but eventually it could be a lot more with some potential add-ons. He didn't start off too good, 2 goals in 4 games, but let's hope that he can really help us stay into League 1 this season. Then Ethan Coleman, a very good mental player, brought him in as a starting ball winning midfielder because Smallwood was getting old and I kind of want someone a lot younger in that position. And then also Besart Topalio, Kosovan center back who played quite okay for us so far. He's on a very low wage, 2.8k, and look at this guy, very well rounded, very nice to see. Let's hope he can do some good things in the center of our defense. And then for the players out, you'll see Gene Kennedy left on loan because we didn't really have a place for him anymore. Oliver left to the Green Rock Morton for a free. And also Freddie Jeffries, which is a youngster, also left on a free. So very nice to see them leave. Also Finn Cousin Dawson and Lewis Richards once again have been loaned out to Wigan in League 2 and to Newport County also in League 2. The main thing here is Vadane Oliver left. He had big wages, so getting him out of the club really meant we could spend a lot more on the wages, for example on JJ Kiernan, and he is earning 6.5k a week now. With all of that said and done, this is what the team looks like. So as you can see, McCracken, our new goalkeeper in goal, currently injured. Same goes for Sam Walker, so a very unfortunate timing there, but luckily we still have Ashby Hammond as our backup. Then in the center of defense, Sharing, who we saw there last season already, Topayo and Elerwi, I'm still not sure how to pronounce this guy, are 2 new signings in the center back position. Then Coleman, also a new signing in the defensive midfield position. Vokins, of course, to the left, and as you can see, the new signing boys were retraining him to also be able to play on the right. Then on the wings, Smith and Patterson, same as last season, and Kavanagh still in the advanced forward position, but this time McKiernan backing him up in the complete forward position. On the bench we still have Platt, Subs and Kieran from last season. Gillyhead and Smallwood are still here, together with our new signing Danny Asmus, who is going to be our backup left back. Carl Taylor and Thorndike, as you can see Thorndike right here as our inside forward backup. Jake Young and Udor still in here, although I'm not sure how much playing time Udor is going to get this season. Last but not least, Ash Taylor, also here from last season. We really want to get rid of him because he is the 7th choice center back and he's only 3 accelerations, so this guy barely has any legs. Then really last Of course, Sam Mather, who is almost always going to go into the substitutes, and maybe, if we really need him, into the first team. And look how good this guy already looks there. So that's the main team. That's what we're going to play with. Let me show you how we started the season. In the 5 games that we've played in League 1, we've only drawn 1 against Bolton, and we've actually won against Nottingham County. I thought it was for the league, so I was really happy that we got our first win, but then turned out that it was against Notts County, who are in League 2. Anyway, we did beat the leaders from League 2, so that's a positive. But as you can see, we are scoring and we're just barely losing. It's not big scores. We just need to turn it around a little, change our morale, and hopefully we are able to make it through. For the Carabao Cup, we already lost against Plymouth, unfortunately, who are also in League 1. I played a backup team for those games usually. Then the next couple of games are against Portsmouth, Exeter, Stevenage, and Charlton, so let's hope we can get some points there. And what I'll be doing now is I'll be once again simming forward to January. January transfer window will be discussed in the next episode, and in the next episode we'll see what kind of players we can still bring in, because we do still have a lot of transfer budget and wage budget left. However, as you can see here, the wage budget is limited to 60% of turnover, which means that if we go to our wage budget right here, you'll see that we're currently spending 95k a week and our max is 100k, which means we can only give out contracts worth 4k still until we reach our cap. So that's why I didn't really find any more good players, and we'll really have to take a look into the squad, what kind of players we can get rid of to get some more wage room to make sure we can get some more upgrades in, because I don't think we're going to make it with the team that we have to the championship, and neither do the bookmakers, because as you can see in the season preview, they're expecting us to come in 23rd, so they're expecting us to really be relegated very quickly. We're going to do the worst of the promoted teams. Of course, Colchester and Stockport, they finished 1 and 2 last season in League 2, and MK Donsk finished even in the promotion spots, but the bookmakers think that they're going to do better than us. Well, let's just make sure that we don't end in the 23rd position. Let's aim for somewhere around 12th, 13th. I'm pretty sure we can turn the season around and hopefully not relegate. That's going to be it for this episode. I want to thank you for watching. Please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe down below. And if you have more challenges we could do in some Football Manager saves, please do leave them in the comments down below and I'll have a look at them. Also, if you have another challenge we can do in this series, because currently we only have one challenge, which is that we can't buy any players above the age of 25. So if you have any challenges, don't forget to leave them in the comments, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Take care.